Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Alexandra Eala's breakthrough culminates with Grand Slam debut at Roland Garros, Rome, Italy. Alexandra Eala didn't know doubles players could get called for press. That's what happens when you form a superstar team, joked Hologic WTA Tour Communications Manager Tava Sammet, who shepherded Eala and partner Coco Gauff into the Foro Italico's mixed zone for multiple media obligations. Only 14 months apart, Gauff is light years ahead of Eala in experience, a Grand Slam champion and world no. 2. Sitting together for an on-camera interview, they laughed like old friends despite only meeting for the first time at the Miami Open, where a then 19-year-old Eala stormed into her first WTA 1000 semifinal. "She's such a nice person," Gauff said of the phenom from the Philippines. "When there's people finally my age on tour, I'm glad to interact. She seems chill. She seems like she's working hard, so I don't have any advice for her, just because she seems relaxed. The only thing I did tell her was that doubles helped me a lot in that space, having some time on court where it's a little less stressful. So I encouraged her to play when she could." After a whirlwind spring, the Quezon City-born Eala could have expected a down week at the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, having endured a disappointing singles defeat to Marta Kostyuk. Instead, she slid into Gauff's Instagram DMs to pitch a partnership with the former doubles no. 1. "I took a chance," recalled Eala, herself a former junior Grand Slam champion in doubles. "I felt that we could get along given our closeness and age. She'd done really well in Madrid, so I was thinking maybe I could get her in a good mood. I'm so happy that she replied and said yes." Together, Eala and Gauff, who are still looking for a team name, vetoing the fan-suggested Coachella, won back-to-back straight-set matches, before falling to eventual champions Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini. The week became a well-earned reset for Eala, one of the fastest rising stars in the women's game. "I've been having 2 days off in between doubles, so I've been mainly focused on training, because it's a lot of training," Eala told me with a smile. Eala will turn 20 years old in time for her first round against Emiliana Arango. Though she won't reunite with Gauff in Paris, fans could see them team up in London to catch Bianca's Cowboy Carter Tour before Wimbledon. "I'm so obsessed with Bianca's and Blue Ivy right now," said Eala, whose favorites include Partition and Single Ladies. "Blue Ivy is really killing it right now, going viral with all of her dancing and stuff. It's crazy to think she's only 13. With a potential second round against reigning Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, Eala will slide onto the terre battue with ample opportunity to not only make another viral moment of her own, but also build her own path to superstardom. There is a certain romance to Roland Garros. The red clay, slow and gritty, doesn't forgive. It demands endurance, precision, and heart. For many, the French Open is a crucible. For Alexandra Eala, it became the stage of her long-anticipated Grand Slam debut. On a warm Parisian morning, just shy of her 20th birthday, Eala walked onto court 7 with the poise of someone who had spent a lifetime dreaming of this very moment. Her ponytail swayed behind her like a banner of resilience, and her eyes, sharp, measured, surveyed the court as if to imprint it onto memory. This wasn't just another tournament. This was a declaration. The long climb. Long before her first appearance in the main draw of a Grand Slam, Alexandra Eala was a name whispered in tennis circles as the Philippines' best hope in generations. Born in Manila in 2005, Eala had tennis in her blood. Her mother, Riza, was a national champion, and her uncle, Noli, a former professional basketball player. From a young age, Alexandra stood out, not just for her left-handed power and court coverage, but for the way she played with unflinching purpose. At 12, she joined the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. Surrounded by the ghosts of champions and trained under the philosophy of one of tennis' greatest fighters, Eala evolved. She wasn't just a hard-hitting junior anymore. She became a tactician, a clay court grinder, a student of the game. Her victories in the Junior Grand Slam doubles events at the 2020 Australian Open and 2021 French Open cemented her as a rising star. But as history has shown, the junior circuit is a prediction, not a promise. The transition to the pro level was slow, arduous. There were injuries, setbacks, a world ranking that refused to leap, even as her skills matured. Still, she pressed on. She collected ITF titles, outplayed higher-ranked opponents, and climbed the WTA ladder with quiet determination. But what she truly yearned for, the true dream, was to stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's best on tennis' biggest stages. Paris calls. That call came in the spring of 2025. After years of grinding through qualifiers and narrowly missing out on the majors, Eala secured a wild card into the French Open main draw for the Philippines. This was historic. Alexandra Eala was the first Filipina in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam singles main draw by merit, not junior ranking or wild dreams. And she didn't arrive in Paris to make up numbers. She came ready. Her first-round opponent was a seasoned top 60 player, taller, louder, with the kind of baseline power that typically buries newcomers. But on clay, Eala was different. She moved like a whisper, used angles like weapons, and dictated points not with brute force, but with tempo. The match stretched to 3 sets. Rain interrupted play. But when it resumed, Alexandra Eala emerged with her arms raised and the crowd chanting her name. Not Alexandra, but Alexandra. They got it right. Breaking the mold. What sets Alexandra Eala apart isn't just her game. It's her story. In a sport dominated by athletes from Europe, North America, and select parts of Asia, her rise represents something bigger. The Philippines, better known for basketball courts than tennis nets, has never produced a Grand Slam champion or even a regular top 100 player. Eala's debut wasn't just personal. It was symbolic. It cracked the ceiling. "You don't see many Southeast Asian girls out here," she said in a post-match interview, her voice still catching her breath. "But I hope that changes." In the stands were young Filipina fans waving hand-drawn flags, tears in their eyes, shouting, "Laban, Alex, fight Alex." Back home, her match aired in early morning hours, but Filipino social media erupted like it was the final of Miss Universe. Because in many ways it was. It was representation. It was proof. The Parisian test. Her second-round match brought her face-to-face with a seeded player, an Eastern European known for bulldozing opponents with unforgiving topspin. Analysts expected a quick exit, but they forgot who Eala trained under. They forgot that her game was sculpted by Spanish grit and Filipino heart. For over 2 hours, Eala fought. Drop shots danced, backhands screamed. The rallies were long, the tension longer. In the end, she lost, but not before winning the respect of the tennis world. She walked off the court to a standing ovation. It wasn't a fairy tale run to the finals. It was something better, a beginning that felt earned. Beyond the baseline, Alexandra's journey is not just about rankings or prize money. It's about reshaping a narrative. For decades, Philippine tennis struggled with limited infrastructure, scarce sponsorship, and little international exposure. Alexandra Eala is rewriting that. She's inspired grassroots programs, reignited interest in tennis back home, and given young girls a reason to believe that a different kind of future is possible. She speaks fluent Tagalog, Spanish, and English. She quotes Rafael Nadal. She meditates before matches. She watches footage of Serena Williams, studies her mother's old matches, and writes in a journal before every tournament. She plays not just for herself, but for her family, her country, and for the younger version of herself who watched Grand Slams on TV and whispered, "Maybe one day." That day has come. Epilogue. The girl on clay. As the sun set over Paris and Alexandra Eala walked back through the tunnel at Roland Garros, she wasn't just a debutante anymore. She was a contender. Her name had been etched onto the scoreboard, her story inked into Grand Slam history. And for the thousands of kids in Manila, Cebu, Davao, and beyond who picked up a racket for the first time that week, it was proof that dreams seated in humble courts can, with patience and fire, grow to bloom on clay.